All right, sorry about that. We back to speak on it with Who You With Kirk, dog. Apologize for the technical issue that we had. Not sure why. I guess a lot of people are coming online in my neighborhood and causing the internet to shut down. But Miss Simmons, you was talking about child abuse and how it could be from your childhood experience, and you worked in the field of child protective service, and um, you could go ahead and finish talking about it.
Well, it's what I was saying that not everyone has that background where they have their parents or their caregivers are there to support them, to love them, to nurture them, as what you were stating about your mother. A lot of times, um, kids or their parents, when they were children, didn't have that, so they don't know how to give it to their children. And so it becomes a vicious cycle. They were abused, so the only way they know how to show love is to abuse their kids because no one taught them differently. So being in working for CPS, I had to learn how to have that sympathy for kids. I mean, for their parents, and try to work with them because they don't know any better. So, you don't always want to throw them to the wolves and just, shame them. It's wrong for what they do, of course, but you also want to help them so they can learn how to do something better for themselves so they can be a better person. So, and also to help the children so they won't continue, so they can break that cycle. It's very hard to break that cycle if you're not given the tools to do so. You're not given that platform to do so.
And when you said that, I thought about one of my favorite movies, The Five Heartbeats, when Eddie Kane approached his dad, and his dad told him he wasn't gonna be nothing because he wasn't nothing.
Hmm.
So we definitely need to encourage our kids to do their best and support them.
Hmm.
Always support your kids. And when they're wrong, okay, it's okay to correct them, but do it the same way that you would want someone to correct you. Don't go off cussing them out, beating them, stuff like that. That's not going to do anything. Take the time to explain to them, okay, this is, you did it like this. Let's come up with a different way of doing things and go
Hmm.
with it like that. I really feel like um, when it's dealing with kids, most kids, if you start when they young, you could talk to them and never have to raise a hand. You could talk
Hmm.
to them and say, hey, let's do this. You have to get that respect early enough where a child would listen to you, and not when they become teenagers and you're trying to discipline them then, or trying to
Hmm.
lead them the right way at that point. Because if they've been going all their life doing what they want to do and now you're trying to discipline, they're not going to pay attention to you. So go
And
ahead.
also, I think parents have to realize that you're not your child's friend.
Exactly.
You can't want to be their best friend. You are a parent. You are there to help them become adults. That's your job. You have to work your way out of a job. So if you're there from birth, even if you come in later on in life, because things do happen, you have to be a parent. You can't allow them to manipulate you to make you feel bad. We're human beings. We make a mistake. No one comes. A child doesn't come with a
Instructions.
instructions on how to be. How to take care of them. How to be the best parent. There are a lot of books out there, but when you're going through the day to day, there is no instructions. Things happen. So we
Exactly.
are all human, and we all going to make mistakes. but you have to be a parent first. You are not their friend, you are not their equal. So they can't talk to you any kind of way. You don't have to lay your hands on them like you were saying. You can have a dialogue and they will respect that. But you have to be firm in that dialogue. You have to have consequences to their actions. If they know that if I do something wrong, there's a consequence, they know when they get out in the real world, when they do something wrong, there's a consequence because mom and dad cannot bail me out of everything because I'm cute.
Exactly. And not only that, and I don't know if you know right offhand, over the weekend, um, a young lady had posted on Facebook about she was needing help to get out of a abusive relationship, but she was looking for donations. Um, do you know, for her and her son? I don't know the young lady personally. Uh, we are friends on Facebook, but and when she put that out there, I messaged her and I'm like, okay, I didn't see the video you posted. What's going on and all of this? Well, she was saying that I don't know if it's her husband or boyfriend or whoever, basically taking everything out the house. The only bed that is left is her son, and she mentioned about emotional, financial abuse, um, and she didn't really say physical abuse, but she did mention she have called some shelters
Hmm.
for women with kids, uh, and said that the only way she could get in, unless she had a police report. And I believe I told her if he have physically abused you, you definitely should call the police.
Hmm.
Um, that's the only way it may stop. But at the same time, is it any type of program if someone is trying to just get away from a person that that you know right offhand where she possibly can go to that is not limitation on what they can and can't do as for her and her son, her and her child.
Offhand, I know there's like the Batters Women's Shelter. I don't know the number offhand, but there's a Batters Women's Shelter. Usually, when you call, if you call the non-emergency number for the police, they would have all those resources. I'm certain that they would have that. But I know there are those type of resources. The hotline for I'll have to get back to you. I don't have the numbers offhand um, on where you can go, but I will look it up and let you know so you can give it to your viewers.
Okay. Now we also have the number for the mental health support during pandemic is strolling across the top, and also Texas abuse and neglect number, and it's also in the chat. While you're listening, if you have uh, access to resources of a place that you know that may be able to help someone like that, definitely put it in the chat, and we will put it out there. And or if you know someone that is able to do it, let us know. Um, Mental health is a serious issue. It took a lot for me to come out and express myself today. I texted Miss Simmons this morning. I told her, I said, look, I'm struggling. I'm struggling because on one hand, fear stepped in because I know a lot of people And they may say, fear stepped in because I was wondering how would they judge me coming out like that. But on the other hand, I didn't get much sleep last night. I wrestled and struggled with God all last night trying to sleep because I'm like, God, I don't want to do this. People are going to look at me crazy. His response was, he was like, what are you doing this for? Why are you doing this platform? You have to be able to help yourself and tell your testimony to be able to help someone else. So that's the reason why I chose this morning to give my testimony. Oh, I have plenty of more. That's the one on mental health. So with the shows coming up for the future, we're going to have Miss Simmons back, hopefully, and also some other counselors on the show where we can actually talk about different stuff. Marriage counseling. It's another thing. It's okay to go to marriage counseling. I have couples come to me all the time. Oh, you and your wife are so lovely. Trust me. It took going to counseling and being truthful and talking to a complete stranger and telling them the issues that we have with each other. So now we have a better communication. I also have plenty of friends that been married a long time. I talk with them. I'm like, hey, um, this is what's going on. Shout out to Reverend Jared and Angela Smith. That's my brother. You know, he's been married for a pretty long time, and if I call him, I know when we first got married, I would call him, and he like, hey, let's talk. And he would only focus on me, and that would upset me more than anything. I'm like, man, I'm calling you about what she doing, but he would only focus on me. Just to upset me, but that's a friend. That's a friend to be honest enough to tell you what you're doing wrong. And those are the type of people I like to deal with. Um, some other signs that I've dealt with dealing with my mental illness that have caused a problem for me. I don't like to be in a large crowd. Before then, I didn't mind doing it. Now, large crowds make me nervous. That's something that I deal with. But I would do it. But most of the time, if I do it, you might see me somewhere up against a wall where nobody can approach me from behind because I trusted that doctor that did my first surgery, and that's the results of it. This is the results that I received. I trusted him, and he failed me. I have other thoughts about that doctor, but that'll come at a later time. So it's definitely a serious issue, and it's okay to ask for help, get help. If you need to, email me. If you don't want to leave a message in the chat, email me. Who you with, Kurt Dog at mail.com, and I will forward the information to it. We also have Miss Simmons information strolling across the top. Call, set up an appointment. She's not the only counselor there, it's a group of counselors. So definitely reach out to her, reach out to someone to get help. Do you have anything else you want to add, Ms. Simmons? I know I could go
Yes,
on.
I found a number to Safe Haven Freedom from Domestic Violence is a hotline. It's 877-701-7233. It's 877-701-7233. And that's Safe Haven.
Okay, Safe
And that's in
Haven.
Tarrant County. Yeah, of Tarrant County.
Safe
And then
Haven.
there's of Tarrant County, yes.
Okay.
And then there's the National Domestic Violence Hotline, and that's 1-800-799-SAFE.
Okay. I'm writing them down. I would also have those posted on the page where people can have access to it. It's okay to ask for help. If
Mm-hmm.
if you hear someone sound like they're getting beat to death, it's okay to call the police. You could be saving a life. You could be saving your neighbor life, your family member life. Don't just sit back and try to get video footage or laugh at it. Put it out there. Um, Definitely call the police. If you witness something like this, call the police first. Get that person some help because you could be saving their life. What's going on, cuz? Ilya Hunt, my cousin out of California. Thank you for joining the show. Um, so definitely, I appreciate Miss Simmons taking time out of her busy schedule to come on to the show. J Mug, um, I appreciate him, who is always try to be on my side on the days he's off. Come on the show with me. I really appreciate it. But I just wanted to talk about this mental illness, and I want the conversation to keep going. I would like it to keep going, um, not just today, but anytime. Definitely send me an email. Who you with? KirkDog at mail.com. Um, and future shows, we're going to be talking about other things that would help other people. A lot of these shows that we're going to talk about, it may be from personal experience, or it may be from people that is close to me, personal experience. So this platform is basically to help someone. If we can help anyone, we're good. That's what we're doing this platform for, and definitely want to keep it going. Miss Simmons, I know I have your contact information strolling across. What's the best way of getting in contact with you?
Um, Cell number that's going across is good.
Okay. Uh,
Yeah.
are they able to text you or?
Yeah, they can text me or call me if I don't answer, because I'm usually in session. Just leave a message and I'll get back to you within 24 to 48 hours.
Okay. And what about uh, what type of payment do you accept and stuff like that? Or
I accept some insurances, and I do accept, I have some clients that pay out of pocket.
okay,
But I do have some EAPs, so you can contact your EAP. A lot of people don't realize that your company have an employee assistant program, and they will pay for you to go to counseling. They may give you up from 3 to maybe 8 sessions. Due to the pandemic, insurances are giving you additional um, sessions, your companies, for free. So use them.
take advantage of it. A tax dollar paying for it.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
paying for it.
yeah,
You're paying for it.
exactly. Your hard work
Yeah,
is paying for it. You work for
yeah.
this company. Take advantage of the EAP program.
Mm-hmm.
Get you some counseling. A, a lot of most employees have it. If they are legit, they do have it. And it could cost you nothing out of pocket to go in and get help. it will make a difference. It will change your life. I know counseling have really changed my life. Now, instead of cursing a person out real quick, if I don't want to fool with them, I just say, "Oh, okay," and I walk off. Now, back in the days, I probably would have said some other things, but I don't have time for that type of energy. If it's something that's not positive for me, I don't have time for it. I'm going to walk away from it. And that's the best way of doing things. Walk away, give time, maybe address it later on and say, hey, this is what you made me feel like during this time. So definitely check with your employer, your EAP. Know a lot of people have lost their jobs during this time. And it's going to be stress. You're stressing about how you're going to pay your mortgage, your car notes, credit card bills, lights, phone, everything. Call your employer. Take advantage of the EAP. Get with your HR. And definitely follow up with them. Even if it's not Miss Simmons, contact anybody. Anybody that will accept your insurance. I know Miss Simmons is in Grand Prairie. My cousin is on from California. It's people all around the world that need to hear this because a lot of people don't realize you can get free help for counseling and marriage counseling if you're married. So definitely take advantage of it. But other than that, I appreciate you coming on, Miss Simmons. I
Oh,
really
no problem.
appreciate it. I know when I text this morning, you probably look like, ooh, he's struggling. Because it is really a struggle for me. I struggled hard this morning because I wanted the show to go one way, but then God wanted me to do something completely different. So, and I wrestle like Pastor Haynes say all the time. If you wrestling with God, you need to lose. So
You're gonna lose.
exactly. So I lost
You
that
will
fight this
lose.
morning, and
Yeah.
I had to be obedient and do what He wanted me to do. Uh,
Hmm.
appreciate all the ones that actually listening in, commenting. Um, we definitely gonna do more shows like this. Not like I told you before, not just talking about coronavirus because that changes all the time. And now a lot of cities are not reporting every day on the coronavirus, which is nervous for me because we need to be updated. We need
Hmm.
to know what's going on. And when I read yesterday, Tarrant County came up with 485 new
But most
cases.
of it is from the
For
jail.
423 is
Hmm.
from the male federal prison.
Hmm.
And then you hear on the news this morning the shooting that happened at the park yesterday.
Why were they at the park? I don't know.
Exactly. So we have to do things much better
Hmm.
than that. Um, I really appreciate you coming on. Hopefully you'll come back again and we won't have no technical issues. Um, I know my boy, he's supposed to have been coming out before all this came, before this pandemic started. But since we are practicing social distance, he haven't been able to come out to get everything hooked up properly. So I'm doing the best I can. But
No problem.
we will get it straight for next time.
Hmm.
Anything you want to add before closing out?
No, just don't be afraid to ask for help. And if you see someone that, is struggling, don't be afraid to be that friend to let them know and call them out on it. Because if you are a true friend, you're not going to let your friend fall. You're going to be there to support them and to push them and to motivate them to get the help that they need, because that's what friends do.
Exactly.
You don't sugarcoat it. You don't. I don't want to, rock the boat because it's their life. So you have to be, they're going to thank you later. They may not like you, but they're going to love you later. And
E-
that's what friends do. And
Exactly.
that's what family does.
And I'm like this. It all started by the tongue because a lot of time it start off with a person getting upset and talking down to a person.
Hmm.
And once that person get accustomed to it, they want to take it to another level. Oh, so you okay with me talking to you like this? So now they have to do something else to get that person attention. If you see someone cussing at a child, cussing at their spouse, whatever it may be, say something. They may not like it, but if a true friend will tell you the truth. And that's why I like Reverend Jerry Smith, because no matter what, I could call and tell him this, that, or whatever. He's going to tell me, what are you doing? He's not going to look at nobody else except me. And he's going to check me and correct me on what I'm doing wrong. And I appreciate him for that. Um, have one comment, my cousin out of California. The same thing is going on here in California too. Killings and jail. As a black man, that's that's enough stress.
Hmm.
I feel I'm lucky to to be a black man. But now we got folks want to randomly kill folks just because of the color of your skin in 2020. You can't even jog in a neighborhood um, to exercise during a pandemic without getting killed. This morning, I seen this black guy, and I don't know where it was, but he was walking in his neighborhood. In his neighborhood, and and one of our Caucasian brothers walking his dog told him he don't need to be there. He don't need to be there. He shouldn't be walking around in the neighborhood. But once he got the camera on him, he didn't want to talk. He wanted to walk away and curse him out and all of this. But what if the cameras wasn't there? He probably would have called the police. Then it would have been another Karen or whoever calling the police for somebody walking in the neighborhood.
Well,
But
it would have been spun differently,
exactly.
you
It would have
know.
been, oh, he approached me. He tried to do this.
Hmm.
He tried to do that. The angry black man.
Hmm. He felt threatened.
Exactly. And I don't understand it.
Hmm.
In California, the virus is spreading in jails out there too.
Hmm.
That's what my cousin just said. The virus is spreading everywhere. It
And it's going to get worse because now we're opening up everything. So, without any vaccination, without any solution, we're just going to open it up. So we have to be more diligent on where our whereabouts. What are we doing about it? How are we moving around? Because we're the ones that are getting it. So we have to be cautious about that.
exactly.
We can't just walk around and, I went to the store yesterday and I see so many young black people and just people of color walking around with no mask on with their kids, babies. And I just want to tell them, what are you doing? This is a pandemic. It's not safe just to walk around, you
Yes,
know, just because you see other people doing it, don't make it okay for you to do it because you're going to be the one in the hospital.
exactly. And just because you see the president doing it,
Mhm.
don't mean it's right.
Right.
And it's I don't even know what to say about him because all these people around them are testing positive,
Mhm.
but they're not testing positive. And he's not wearing any mask or anything like that. That's kind
Mhm.
of crazy.
And won't quarantine themselves because Penn said this morning he's not going to quarantine himself.
Oh no, he's in the West Wing this morning.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, that is sad, you. My cousin in California said that's so sad. Yes, it is. As a leader, you have to be able to lead the people the right way. Take your whatever you want. You got to remove yourself. You have to remove yourself and do what's right.
Mhm.
Yet I kind of want to add you on to the broadcast. I'm trying a new system, and it's saying I can add you to the broadcast. I don't know if it will or not. Um, if you want to, I could try to add you in here, and if you have something you want to say, also let me know if it's all right. But yeah, so it's definitely um, the leaders are really they not leading. They not
Mhm.
leading from the beauty shop. Um, the Texas governor, that whole party need to be changed. That's why I
Mhm.
say on every show, we have to register to vote and get out and vote. These people that is in office now, if they don't have your best interest, vote them out.
Mhm.
Vote them out. Hold on. I'm going to try to add my cousin in. Hold on real quick. I don't know if I can, but we will see. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I guess it didn't work. Shoot me a text and I'll give you the information. Um, so definitely, we have to vote these people out. Register. Don't just register to vote. Get out and vote.
Mhm.
Get out and vote. Make a change. Because if they're doing all of this and it's not benefiting you and your family, why deal with them? Why keep them in office? I've said a couple of shows ago, if you don't see them out campaigning,
Mhm.
kissing little babies, hey, um, why have them there? Why have them there? So you definitely have to do what's best for you and your family.
Mhm.
That's the best way of doing it. But Miss Simmons, I really appreciate you taking the time out. I know I said I wasn't gonna uh, take up a lot of your time today. Um, I'm trying to get my cousin to come on because he's in California, and
Mhm.
that would give us another point of view from a different state, not just Texas. And he actually worked with. Um, I'll let him tell his job once he chime in. Um, but he have many of jobs that he do. So, um, but definitely want him to kind of chime in from California because people think we hear about Texas and all of this, New York and all of that, but it's California. It's another hot spot. Now people have to worry about this other disease that are coming from the that is attacking the kids now.
Mhm.
So they have to worry about that too. And that's that's actually something else you have to be concerned about. Not just the coronavirus, but now it's attacking our kids. Think it was New York, um, Louisiana, California, Washington. I want to say Chicago. Don't quote me on that. It was about 5 or 6 different states that is dealing with this new type of virus that is attacking the kids now. So that's another issue. Um, so I don't know. Sometimes I ask myself, I'm like, I know God said He would never end the world again by flood, but I hope it ain't by a pandemic either. So
Hmm.
it just kind of make you wonder.
Yeah.
So I want to get him on before we get off, if um, and if he could come on, because he deals with, um, if I'm not mistaken, he deals with kids, tutoring kids.
Hmm.
So during this time, a lot of parents are struggling trying to do this new math, because that math, they say it's a new math. I hear kids all the time talking about it.
Hmm.
Um, so I'm just kind of curious, um, what are they dealing with? Ilya, before we go, are you trying to get on? Trying to see before we end the broadcast. So I don't know if he's trying to get on or not. So hopefully he comes in pretty soon, because I know you have a busy schedule.
Hmm.
How was your Mother's Day yesterday?
It was great.
That's good.
I enjoyed not doing anything.
Well, it was your day. It was your day.
Yes.
I did a small show yesterday, probably 9 minutes, just a Mother's
Hmm.
Day show, and to
Hmm.
remind people to watch this one today. And of course, had to give you a shout out, because I know you're a mother and you're doing your things. You wear many of hats too. Um,
Hmm.
Now you also deal with I also mentioned yesterday about, um, some parents, even though they have their biological kids. I spoke with a friend of mine Saturday, I believe. Um, One of her daughters just graduated, and I was like, okay, cool. I knew she had 2 biological kids, and I knew she adopted 2, but she also
Hmm.
adopted a 16-year-old, and she just graduated from college. And all the graduates, high school, college, whatever it may be, congratulations, happy for you. Um, you also deal with foster care and adoptions too.
Well, I used to have a foster care agency, but I had too many hats, so I had to take one off.
Oh, okay.
But I still counsel foster kids. So I
Okay.
still have kids that I see. I go to their homes. Well, now I just do telehealth. Um, so I still deal with kids in foster care, but I just do it as their therapist.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that, I believe that was one of the shows I mentioned to you I wanted to talk about, but we'll do
Hmm.
that at a later time. And
Hmm.
I don't think he's going to be able to make it on in time.
Okay.
So, um, but I do appreciate you coming out, joining with us for this time. Sorry about
Oh,
um,
no problem.
the technical issues, but definitely, once again, if you have the um, have an issue with abuse, neglect, the number is in the chat. The Texas Abuse and Neglect hotline is 800 Mental health support line during the pandemic is 833-986-1919. Safe Haven is 877-701-7233. And the was it the National Abuse Line? You gave
Yeah,
me?
the National Domestic Violence Line.
It's 800-799-SAFE. Please
And that's
reach
7233.
7233.
Okay.
Um, please reach out to Miss Simmons. Check with HR. Use the EAP, your insurance, whatever you have to do. Find a counselor. You paying for it? Why not use it? You can reach out to Miss Simmons, 817-505-3901, and definitely reach out to her. We appreciate you, Miss Simmons. Um, Thank you for coming in, taking the time out. I know we was on here much longer than what we anticipated, but I appreciate you. And until next time, we will talk again, and we will do shows in the future. If you are a counselor and would like to be on the show, definitely send me an email. If you are an attorney, um, please send us an email if you would like to be on the show, because we're going to have shows coming up in the future where we will need attorneys on for advice, mainly family law attorney, but we're going to have other shows. This is a platform for the people that is going to drive this show on the subjects that you want us to talk about. So definitely reach out to us. We're going to have a health segment. Um, I know I've been trying to get my workout on a little bit, as much as I can. So, um, done a little bike riding, but I got to get a different type of seat. It always disappear, but that's a whole nother thing. But we appreciate it, Miss Simmons, and give you I think. Oh, oh, there you go. Appreciate you for coming on. Until next time, I thank you. J-Ma, appreciate you. And we'll get all the technical issue taken care of next before the next show. I appreciate it. Y'all take care. God bless. Peace.